Hey everybody, welcome back to Whiteboard Finance. My name is Marco and I'm here to help you master your money and build your wealth. In today's video, we're going to talk about Elon Musk's tweet about Bitcoin that absolutely tanked the Bitcoin's price that happened about 15 hours ago or so at the time of this recording. So let's get right into that. So you can see here that Elon Musk tweeted yesterday on May 12th, right around 6 p.m., that he said Tesla has suspended vehicle purchases using Bitcoin. We are concerned about rapidly increasing use of fossil fuels for Bitcoin mining and transactions, especially coal, which has the worst emissions of any fuel. Cryptocurrency is a good idea on many levels, and we believe it has a promising future, but this cannot come at great cost to the environment. Tesla will not be selling any Bitcoin, and we intend to use it for transactions as soon as mining transitions to more sustainable energy. We are also looking at other cryptocurrencies that use less than 1% of Bitcoin's energy per transaction. So you can see here where my cursor is on the bottom of the screen that this was tweeted at 6:06 p.m. on May 12th Eastern Standard Time. So let's take a quick look at a Bitcoin chart here. So I basically have the 24-hour chart pulled up, and you can see here on May 12th at 6:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1 minute before that tweet, the price was $54,742. If you look at this less than 2 hours later, it bottomed out all the way to $46,000 and has since stabilized to about 50 grand at the time of this recording. So let's go back and analyze this tweet just a little bit further. So the point of this video is not to defend Elon Musk or Bitcoin or mining or any of this stuff. It's just to get a more neutral lens on everything that's going on right now. So you can see here that they mentioned that they suspended vehicle purchases. They did not sell their Bitcoin, as you can see down in the third paragraph or the third sentence of this tweet. So that is a pro and a con. So if you've been following this, my last video where Tesla purchased $1.5 billion of Bitcoin to put onto their balance sheet, they actually at the same time enabled people to be able to purchase Tesla cars using Bitcoin. So if you've been following that, they've actually made more money, unrealized gain, on owning Bitcoin than they have in their entire history as a car company selling cars. And it's only been about 3 months since they made that decision. So this tells me that they're not completely bearish on Bitcoin. Otherwise, they would have just dumped all of their holdings and just realized that back into fiat dollars. So that is a plus. But you do see here that they are concerned about all the energy consumption and the use of fossil fuels. So before we go any further into this video, I feel like there's a trend online that weird nerds always defend Elon Musk, even if the criticism is valid. So there's not going to be any criticism here. It's just bringing a lot of facts to the table, whether it's for Bitcoin or for Tesla or for Elon Musk in this case. So if we go to the second part of this tweet, he's basically talking about energy uses over the past few months, saying that Bitcoin is using a lot of energy. So there's a lot of articles in this video that I'm going to show you. I may not necessarily dive into full depth, otherwise this will be another hour-long video. And I'm smoked after I recorded my inflation video from yesterday. That was about an hour and 15 minutes. So you can see here that some of the responses are kind of funny because they are relatively true. If you haven't dug into the actual energy usage of Bitcoin, it's not as good as pro-Bitcoiners say, and it's not as bad as anti-Bitcoiners say. So Preston Pish here, he's the host of the Investors Podcast. I'm a big fan of his. He said, uh-oh, did someone get yelled at by the government who pays you massive subsidies so you can stay in business each quarter? So if we go to, the reason I thought that Elon Musk's tweet was weird is because he just agreed with Jack Dorsey, the CEO of Twitter, less than like 3 weeks ago that Bitcoin incentivizes renewable energy. You can see Jack's tweet right here at 12:16 p.m. on April 21st, saying that Bitcoin incentivizes renewable energy, citing the Square Crypto tweet, and underneath that is Elon Musk replying true, meaning that he agrees with it. So how do you explain less than, let's call it 3 weeks later, Tesla or Elon Musk having this stance on Bitcoin? So I did a little bit more digging, and you can see here on the same day, on May 12th, this was yesterday, that Tesla seeks entry into U.S. renewable fuel credit market sources. So I highlighted a couple of points from this article. It's basically talking about that there's a multi-billion-dollar U.S. renewable credit market, and obviously Tesla is hoping to profit from that, and that the electric car maker is one of at least 8 companies with a pending application at the EPA tied to power generation and renewable credits. So you can see here, I'll link to this below. You can read this article if you want. But to me, this tells me that maybe they're trying to pivot back into getting into these renewable credits, which they've done throughout their history. And maybe that's why they're kind of capitulating and tweeting out this tweet to kind of go or be perceived as green, if you will. So moving along, I do want to clear up some misconception about securing the Bitcoin network through proof of work. So Lynn Alden, I always refer to her stuff. She's super smart. This was on March 24th. You can see this gentleman, Lucas deGrassi. He talked about at current energy mix for mining and transactions, if you buy a Tesla with Bitcoin, 2 Bitcoins approximately at the time of that tweet, you are emitting 4 tons of CO2, enough for an average internal combustion engine car to run 40,000 kilometers. Bitcoin equals 37 megatons. Each transaction, not so green and sustainable. Well, this is literally 100% false, and it bothers me that people with blue check marks tweet stuff like this because it's simply not correct. You can see Lynn Alden's response here that says Bitcoin's total energy usage is determined primarily from market cap and difficulty adjustments, not transaction volume. In other words, the marginal Bitcoin transaction / spending choice has virtually no impact on Bitcoin's total energy use. Like with a company, it takes a ton of work to make good software, but then it takes minimal work to distribute that software. So if we move further here, you can actually see this is from ARK Invest. They did a research on Bitcoin myths. You can see here on the y-axis, this is the yearly cost in billions of dollars in energy expenditure. And on the x-axis, you can see that the bottom is Bitcoin mining, gold mining, and the current banking system. So you can see here that Bitcoin mining is, in purple is yearly cost in billions, in black it's the energy expenditure, and it's nowhere near gold, let alone the entire banking system in general. So the other thing I wanted to talk about where I feel like Elon is being a little bit hypocritical, maybe it's just this PR firm, trying to make Tesla be perceived as green and earthly and, electric cars run on oxygen, right? Well, you have to realize that Bitcoin, that electric cars take a lot of lithium and cobalt in order to create the batteries, okay? So here's a couple snippets of a new way to mine. So lithium mining consumes enormous quantities of water in some of the world's driest places. The world's largest lithium mining operations in Chile, the deserts pump millions of gallons of water from dwindling underground reservoirs and then it evaporates in massive ponds stretching for miles. The minerals left behind are then collected and refined. Each ton of lithium mined this way uses about 18,000 gallons of fresh water and takes up to 2 years. Okay, so if you look at this Financial Times article, a lot of this cobalt is coming from Congo, which there obviously is child labor. So I'm not trying to turn this into some tree hugging video or anything like that, but these are realities of how electric vehicles come to fruition and how the batteries actually store that much energy. It's through these precious metals. So if you keep going, as cobalt demand booms, companies must do more to protect Congolese miners. The Democratic Republic of Congo is the major source of some of the minerals used to manufacture components in household appliances, mobile phones, electric vehicles, and jewelry. So the next thing I wanted to touch on was my own tweet where I really didn't understand Elon Musk's due diligence or Tesla's due diligence about buying $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin. Part of me is thinking, is this a PR stunt? Is it because he believes in the actual cryptocurrency? Why did they just put their money where their mouth is and buy $1.5 billion of this stuff? So 3 months ago, if you recall, Tesla bought $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin. So this is why I tweeted this. Are we really meant to believe that Tesla buys $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin and then realizes 2 months later it uses electricity for proof of work? Has Elon Musk ever seen a lithium mine? Very fishy in my opinion. So that's just my opinion. The reason I'm saying that is because if you've ever seen lithium mining, this is basically what it looks like, okay? It is not pretty. So for him to come out and talk about this tweet right here saying fossil fuels and energy consumption and all this stuff, I just feel like he's being just a little bit hypocritical. And again, you don't have to jump in front of this video and downvote it. This is just my opinion. So wrapping up this video, I do want to leave you with a bunch of articles to where you can get a more nuanced perspective of Bitcoin's energy consumption and also of its mining. So you can see here that Nick Carter, he has a bunch of articles on CoinDesk. He has one on the last word on Bitcoin's energy consumption. There's another one called The Frustrating, Maddening, All-Consuming Bitcoin Energy Debate, which you can see here. That's also on CoinDesk. He has a reply piece to basically no objectivity on Bitcoin mining. It's a response to Noah Smith. And then also he has an article on how much energy does Bitcoin actually consume. And then finally, you can see proof of work. If you don't know what proof of work is, this is basically what it takes to secure the Bitcoin network. And then also you can see how basically, I wanted to throw this in here because it's important. This is the hidden cost of the petrodollar. This is written by Alex Gladstein, who's basically a freedom and human rights maximalist. He talks about how the dollar uses the most energy because it is protecting, obviously, oil and who runs that. So I will leave a link below to all those articles. Is Bitcoin perfect? No, obviously not. Is proof of work enabling Bitcoin to be one of the hardest monies ever created? In my personal opinion, yes. But again, proof of stake is starting to get into much more mainstream talking points, specifically with like Cardano and also Ethereum, both of which I own. But that looks a lot more like central banking in my personal opinion. But I'll be the first one to admit I haven't dug deep enough to have an educated opinion on that. So the point of this video wasn't to rag on Elon Musk. It wasn't to rag on Bitcoin or mining or any of this stuff. It was kind of just to put everything into perspective. So as always, I leave the videos with my thoughts at the end. Do I see this absolutely killing Bitcoin? Absolutely not. If the bottom is $50,000 per Bitcoin, look at it where it was March of 2020. It was at $3,000. So if this is the dip and this is the bottom of where Bitcoin is going to be, a lot of institutional money is providing that floor level of $50,000. I'm personally not worried about it. But then again, you know, I don't have any cost basis in any of these cryptocurrencies. I'm playing with 100% house money. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you got value out of it, please like it, share it on social media, and also check out my school down below. And as always, have a prosperous day. Thank you so much. This video is going to get downvoted into oblivion by a bunch of Elon Musk fanboys, which I couldn't care less about, to be quite honest. I'm just trying to look at everything, as always, with a nuanced opinion. The truth is always somewhere in the middle. Is lithium-ion mining, is it bad? Is it a dirty business? Yes. Is there child labor involved? Yes. Is a majority of it child labor? No. Is cobalt mining bad? Yes. Who owns most of the lithium-ion mines in Mexico? China. So it's a lot of stuff that you guys need to peel back layers of the onion on. I know everyone wants the easy answer, but you have to just keep doing research until you kind of reach the bottom of the rabbit hole, if possible. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching.